Today we are going to make a simple, easy and a very delicious cake using coconut flour. A bit of a context. So in one of our previous videos, Karthik did mention that I fixed his gut, and some of you even DM'd and asked me on Instagram what did I do. So one of the swaps that we made was completely swapped out atta and plain flour from his diet, and we started using things like coconut flour, almond flour, and stuff like that. So at one point he was completely out of white flour chapatis and all that, because that was giving him issues in his gut. And at that point I came up with this recipe. I didn't really come up with this recipe, I did do a lot of research and all that, and this recipe did stick with me. That's the reason I bought coconut flour. So I had a lot of coconut flour lying around, and I'm going to bake this cake once again. I thought I'll film it for you guys. So in case if you are looking for a healthier alternative, or if you want to experiment reducing the consumption of white flour or atta, then you should definitely give this a go. Observe how your gut feels after this, and maybe it's something that you can incorporate in your diet, or maybe you just experiment once and figure out how you feel and then you move on. But let's get started. So while I was giving you this introduction, I did set the oven to preheat. In our oven we have this rapid heat option, so I've just turned that on and I've put it around 200 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. The timer has gone off, but it's still heating. So here's everything you need. We'll start off with coconut flour, 85 grams, about 1 cup of unsweetened coconut milk, full fat, half a cup of sugar. You'll need only 4 eggs. I'll be using only 4 eggs. You'll need baking powder and some vanilla essence. I'm just going to add cinnamon and some walnuts for being extra. And then a little bit of salt. First step, let's crack open 4 eggs in a big bowl. The next step is add 1 cup of unsweetened full fat coconut milk. Let's also add sugar. That was half a cup of sugar. If you like on a sweeter side, maybe you can just adjust depending on your sweet preference. Add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now give this a very good mix. As you can see, this is mixed nicely. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and coconut flour. Little bit of cinnamon powder. This is entirely optional. We like the flavor of cinnamon powder, that's why we add it. Also add a little bit of salt. Mix this very well. See, the mixture becomes thick. At this stage, if required, if the wet ingredients are not enough, you can add little water. But when you're adding, just go tablespoon by tablespoon, so 1 tablespoon at a time. The last step is, if you're adding nuts, just add them now and give it a mix. I'm going to mix using this spatula. So we'll be pouring our cake batter into this cake tin. I'm just going to grease it with butter. You can grease it with butter or any oil of your choice. I'm using coconut oil. So it's all going to taste very coconutty. Make sure to grease the edges. So I want to pour the batter into this. So I'm going to set it to fan bake and about 180, and we'll give it 20 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm going to tidy up the space. We'll come back in 20 minutes. So we had kept it for 20 minutes. The timer went off just now, and I tried to see if it had cooked. It is not, because this skewer like thing didn't come out clean. So I'm going to keep for maybe another 5 minutes and see how we go. So we'll come back and check. Because this is cooked, I'm just going to let it rest in a cooling rack. If you can see, the cake has come out of the edges. This is how we want it to be. So we'll let it rest for at least 15 minutes in the cooling rack, and then we can cut and serve. So the cake is nice and cold now. It's well over 15 minutes because I got busy with work. You can eat the cake as is, or you can just drizzle it with a little bit of sugar, powdered sugar that is, or cinnamon sugar, just like how I am doing. To make cinnamon sugar, add more sugar and little bit of cinnamon and just grind it in mixie. You get this. Smells so good. Let's drizzle this now. It tastes so good, slightly sweeter for my palate, but it's so yum. If you like sweeter sweets, you can even add like ice cream and have it with that. In terms of cinnamon sugar, I'm just planning to use it when I make tea, because with tea, I occasionally do, and with tea, I add a lot of spices like ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, and all of it. So I'll just use that sugar instead of normal sugar. If you try this recipe, do let me know in the comments below how it turns out. I do read every single comment, and I'd be super keen to know how your cake turned out. I'll see you in another video. Bye.